Hello dear friends, welcome to this video. In this video you want to learn how to make a CAPTCHA. Let's first see how it works. This is a CAPTCHA form and this is the CAPTCHA which you have to enter. If the CAPTCHA is hard, you can refresh and generate a new CAPTCHA. Let me type this CAPTCHA. Let me write it wrong. If I check, see the CAPTCHA is not matched and it is wrong. I have to try again. Let's generate another CAPTCHA, and now let me type the correct one. Let's check, and the CAPTCHA is correct and we are done. You can use this CAPTCHA for your login form, registration, or etc. You can imagine about that one. So you learned what you want to build and how a CAPTCHA works. Now let's go to the code and make this one. I'm inside my project folder. I make a folder. I call it Captcha. And inside this folder, let's first drag and drop this folder into my Visual Code. And this is my project folder. The first thing we need is an image, a background image for my CAPTCHA. So we have this image. As you saw, our text will display over this image. You can use any image you want. Okay, let's go to the Visual Code. The first thing I have to do is to create a file called index.html. And inside this file, I make the basic HTML5 structure. I give it the title, Captcha. Let me make the font a little bit bigger for you guys. Okay, it's good. And let's run this index.html with a live server. If you don't know what is live server, this is an extension inside the Visual Code which loads your code in real time. Okay, and our pages load. Now inside this index.html we create the structure of our application. But before doing that, I have to import a library which is the font awesome icons. Okay, I'm going to import it here, and we can use the icon from this library. Okay, the first thing I have to do is to make a div with a class of wrapper, and everything will be inside this wrapper. Okay, so the first thing we need is a title. So I make a header and I name it Captcha. After the header, I make another div with a class of Captcha area. This will be the area where the Captcha will locate. And inside this div, I have another div with a class of Captcha image. And inside this Captcha image div, I have the image and the sources. This image we placed. Okay, so the name of the image and the source, Captcha image.png. After that, this also gave it an alt, Captcha background. Let's save. Okay, this is how it looks. Okay, after that, inside this Captcha image, let me put a dash in here, slash. Okay, let's also make an span, and I give it a class, the class of Captcha. The Captcha will be displayed inside this div, this span. Okay, after this I have a button, so I make a button and I give it a class of maybe a reload. This is a reload button. I want to display an icon for my button, so inside this button I use class, and from the font awesome icon library I can use a reload icon in here, FFS, FAS, FA, redo, Alt, and let me close the iTag. Okay, let's save, and there we go, we have that nice icon in my button. After that I make a form and I set the action to nothing, and I give the class input area. Inside my form I make an input, it is a text, and I give it a placeholder which I say enter Captcha. I give it a max length. This is the length which how many characters you want your Captcha have. In this case I want 6 characters for my Captcha, so the max input will be 6. Okay, after that I also want to check for a spell check. I don't want spell check, okay, because this is a Captcha, so I set this one to false, and I want this one to be required all the time, so I say require. After this, inside this form I also have another button for submission. In this button have a class of check button. When I press this button, it checks if the Captcha is correct or not. Okay, once our form is completed, I make another div with a class of state text, and this will show if the Captcha is correct or not. Let's also make another div with a class of footer, and I say by Ali Aslan. Okay, that's enough for the structure of my application. After that I make another file, I call it style.css. let's link it to my HTML. Let's link it, use link and CSS. I linked my style.css. let's save and go to my style.css. now we are going to give our application some style. The first thing I have to do is to import the Google font library and remove the default design. Also, so I set the font family to this. Let's save, and as you can see, the font is now very beautiful. After that, the first thing I have to change is the selection, this selection design. So how you can do that? I use selection and I change this color to white, and after that I set the background color for this one, which is this color, and now I have a nice color for my selection. After that we select the body. Inside this body I set the position to relative. Okay, I set the max width for my application, which will be okay. We don't do it here, but sorry, not this one also, but inside the body what I want to display everything in flex. Okay, I set the display to flex, and I want to align everything to the center. I also want to justify the content to the center, and after that I give it a main height, so put everything at the center, 100 VH viewing height, and I give it a background color, this background color, and now we have a beautiful background. After that I select my wrapper, and what I want to set this position to relative. I want to give it a max width of 485 pixel, and after that I want to give it a width of 100%, and let's give it a background color of white. Okay, let's give it some padding. I give it a padding 22 pixel, 30 pixel, and 14 pixel. Now it looks better. I want to give it a border radius 10 pixel, and after that I give my wrapper a box shadow. If you don't know what is box shadow, there is a video in my channel. You can learn everything about box shadow. I give it an RGBA color to make it like a transparent 0.05, and there I have a nice shadow on my wrapper. Okay, after that I want to select this header. So from the wrapper I select header, and to give my header a color, so I give it this color, and after that I change its font size to something bigger, 33 pixel. That looks better. Also want to change its font weight to 500, and let me align the text to the center, and now it looks much better. After that, from my wrapper I want to select this Captcha area. This Captcha area. Let me select the Captcha area by class, and let's display everything in flex, and after that I give it a height 65 pixel. I give it a margin 30 pixel, 0 and 20 pixel. After that I want to align the item to the center and justify the content to the center, and there we go. We have our Captcha, this area in the center, but I think not justify content to the center, maybe space around looks okay. This is space around is better. After that I want to give some style to my image, this Captcha image. So from Captcha area I want to select the Captcha image, this div. Let's select that one, and let's give it a height of 100%, and I also want to give it a width 345 pixel, and let me give it let's make it unselectable, so user cannot select that one. User select, I set it to none. I give the background 000, sorry, /000, and I also want to give it a border radius 5 pixel, and I set the position to relative. And now what I want to do is, from this Captcha image I want to select the image itself and apply some design. I want to set the height to 100%, and I also want to give it a height of 100%, so this is equal as my Captcha area. After that I wanna fit. Let's use object fit and set it to cover. And after that I give it a border radius 5 pixel. Now we have the radius, and after that I want to change its opacity to make it a little bit transparent. Now it looks better. After that I want to select the Captcha image, and from the Captcha image I want to select the Captcha itself, which is in a span. I want to set this position to absolute, and I want to give it a left of 15% and a top of 50%. So it will be at the center. I give it a width of 100%, and let's set this color color to white. What was the white? FFF. And let's change its font size. Let's make it a little bit bigger. You can see anything at the moment, but let me put something randomly here so you can see what we are doing, because this part will come from the JavaScript, okay, which generate automatically. But for now I want to show you a random text. Okay, I changed the font size. Let's align the text at the center, and also let me add a spacing around letter, and I put it 10 pixel. Okay, let's transform and use the translate minus 50% and minus 50% to bring it to the center. Now you see this how our captcha will look like, but let's give it a few more things. I give it a text shadow, 0 pixel, 0 pixel, 2 pixel, and I give it a color B1. Okay, this color I save, and I have a little shadow around my captcha text. After that I change this font family to let me see, to no to serif and serif. Okay, this is the font we want to use for our captcha. Okay, this will be how our captcha will look like. Okay, after that I want to give some design to my reload button. So from the wrapper I select the button. First let's give design to my buttons, then I will select the specific buttons. Okay, I want to remove the outline, set it to none. Also want to remove the border, I set it to none. And I want to give it a color of white. I want to change the cursor to pointer. I give it a background color, and also I give it a border radius 5 pixel. Let's translate. I add a transition will be applied on everything, 0.3 second and ease. Okay, we have nice buttons, but that's not the end of our job. From the wrapper I want to select button, and on hover what I want to do is to change the background. Okay, let's save. Okay, the background will not change. That's good. Now I select the captcha area, and from the captcha area I want to select this reload button. Okay, let's see, where's the reload button? Here it is. I want to select this reload button and select it. I want to give it a height of first I give it a width of 75 pixel, and I also want to give it a height of 100%. Now it looks nice, but let me change it to font size to make this icon a little bit bigger, 25 pixel, and there we go, we have a nice reload button. But that's not the end of our design for this button. I select from the captcha area, I want to select this reload button, and I want to select the icon, which is I, and let me give it let's give it the design. When I hover it should move a little, rotate a little. Okay, so let me select from the Captcha area the reload button, and I add a hover for this one. What the hover does, I want to transform and I want to use rotate, and I want to rotate it 15 degree, and okay, where's the problem? Okay, not the reload button itself, but the eye of that one. Okay, the eye. Now only the eye can rotate, and inside this Captcha area reload button eye, I want to add a transition to make it a little bit smooth with the animation. What I want to use the transform, because we use transform here, so this transition will be applied to the transform. I want this one to happen in 0.3 second and ease. When I hover, it rotates really nicely. Okay, after that I want to select the wrapper, and from wrapper I want to select this input area. Okay, and let's give some design to my input area. I want to give it a height of 16 pixel, and I give it a width of 100%, and I want to set the position to relative. Okay, after that I want to select the input area, and from the input area I want to select the input itself, this input, and apply some design to this one. I set the width to 100%, I set the height to 100%, and I also want to remove the outline to none. And after the outline I want to give it a padding, and the padding, maybe let's give this padding for the left. Okay, for the left side, and I give it 20 pixel, and there we go, vertices. Okay, after that I want to change the font size to 20 pixel, and I want to give the border radius 5 pixel, and I also want to give it a border 1 pixel solid, and let's give it a nice color, BF, BF, BF. And there we go, we have a nice Captcha area. Okay, after that let me select my input area, and I want to select my input again, but I want to give some design to my placeholder. See where it is, placeholder. What I want to change color to BF, and I have a nice color for my placeholder. Now let's go design to my button. So from input area I want to select, let's see, yes, this check button. I want to select that one, and I set its position to absolute. This will be absolute to the input area. Okay, after that I give it a right 7 pixel. Okay, let's give it a top 15%. Also want to give it a font size 17 pixel, and I give it a height of 45 pixel, and let's give it a padding 0 and 20 pixel, and I change its opacity to 0. Okay, let me I set opacity to 1, but later I change it. Okay, I want to change the pointer event. I need a pointer event where it is. I remove the pointer event to none, and I want to place it in here, so for that reason I use transform, translate. I want to change this y direction, y minus 15%, and now it is looking good. And I change the opacity to 0, and I will show you why. Okay, after that, from the input area I want to select input, and I want to give it a validation if it's valid, plus check button. I want to change opacity to 1, and I want to change the pointer events to odd. Okay, so what we did in here, I set the button opacity to 0 so you can't see anything at the moment, and I selected my input and set a valid, and when it is valid I also add a check button, and I change the opacity to 1. So what does it mean? Whenever I type in here something, the button will be display. Without that, the button will be hide. Let's test, and there we go, we have a button. If we don't type any text, the button is gone. Okay, after that I select the wrapper. From the wrapper I select, it was a state or what? Yeah, state text. I select a state textway class, and I want to display everything. I want to display nothing in here. Okay, let's put it on none. I want to change font size to 18 pixel and text line to the center. Let me put a demo text in here, and let me comment this display at the moment. This is how it will be look. And also want to give it a margin 20 pixel, 0 minus 5 pixel. Okay, this is our aesthetics. Okay, but we will add more design to it from the JavaScript. As for now, display this one to none. Okay, the last thing is our footer, so I select my footer and I change its position to absolute, so I can place it where I want. I want to put the top to 19, not pixel, 90%, and left maybe 7%. Yeah, looks good. And I change the font size to 20 pixel. Just want to give it a color, this color, and I have a nice photo. But if I go to inspect and make it mobile size, it doesn't look good. Let's make it mobile responsive. Okay, let me make it a little bit bigger so you can see everything in here. Let me put this one side, and now you can see everything. So to make it mobile responsive, we use media and set the max weight to maybe 506. Let's put it to 600 pixel. When our screen is smaller than 600 pixel, what I want, first I want to select my body, and from the body I want to change the padding to 0 and 10 pixel. After that I want to select my wrapper, and what I want for my wrapper, I want to give it some padding, 22 pixel, 25 pixel and 35 pixel. And also, okay, that's enough for my wrapper. Okay, and next I want to select my wrapper header, and let's change this font size to 25 pixel, make it a little bit smaller, and after that I select my wrapper. From the wrapper I select the captcha area, and what I want to change this height to 16 pixel, and after that I want to select the captcha area and the captcha itself, and what I want to change the style of the captcha. I want to change the font, not the font but font size, 28 pixel, and letter spacing 5 pixel, little bit smaller. And after that I select my captcha area, and from captcha area I select my reload button, and I give the width of 16 pixel. I give the margin left, where it is, margin left 5 pixel, and also change the font size to a little bit smaller. Okay, and after that I want to select my wrapper. From wrapper I select input area, and what I want, change the height 55 pixel, a little bit smaller, and then I select from input area, I select my check button, and I want to change its height to 14 pixel. Then from the wrapper I select the status text, and I change the font size to 15 pixel. And after that I want to select my captcha area, and from the captcha area I select captcha image, and I make its weight a little bit smaller, 150 pixel. Okay, that looks good, but it still doesn't look the way I want. I need to make the wrapper itself a little bit smaller, so let me give it a width of maybe 400 pixel. Let's see what is the original size for my wrapper. It is 485 pixel. Okay, let's make it a little bit smaller, 300 pixel. Okay, it doesn't look good. Okay, sorry, I removed the weight from the wrapper. The 700 pixel is too big. I changed it to 500, and 500 is a good size for a mobile phone. Now if you go smaller, it changed the size, and now it is mobile responsive. Okay, and our design is finished. Now we have a nice captcha design, and I am going to give it functionality. To do that I go to my captcha folder, I make another file, and I name it script.js. I have to import this script.js to my index.html, so can be for the body use the script, and the source will be script.js. Save the HTML file, and now come to script.js. But before doing that, I want to remove this random dummy text for my captcha in captcha state. Okay, they are removed. We go to script. First I have to select everything, every element to my JavaScript. Okay, to select I make a variable called captcha, and this is equal to document.querySelector, and I want to select my captcha. Where it is, this captcha, which has a class, so I selected my class. I had a doc before the name, and after that I want to select the reload button, so I make a variable called reload button, and this will be equal to document, let's give it a let document.querySelector, and I want to select the reload button. Let's see what is the reload button. This is the name of reload button, so I select that one, and after that I want to select the input field and make another variable. I call it input field. This is equal to document.query selector. I want to select this reload and this input field, which is input from the input area. From the input area I want to select input. Okay, after that I make another variable for button check, document.query query selector, and this is the check button. And after that I make another variable which is for status text, and this is document the query selector, and I want to select the statistics. Okay, we have selected everything. Now I wanna store all Captcha character in array. How you can do that? Storing all Captcha characters in array. How you can do that? I make a variable, I call it all characters, it is equal to an array, and I put every characters I want to use, because these characters are in English, so we use the English alphabet, which is A, first the big alphabet, then the small alphabet, and then the small alphabet. So A, comma, B, comma, C. We do this until we finish the big alphabet, then small alphabet, then numbers. To make it simpler, I already did this one, just copy paste it. This is how we do it, okay? Big alphabet, small alphabet, then the numbers. If you want to use the like $sign or etc., you can also use that one. Okay, and after that what I want to do is to make a function. I call it get Captcha, and this function will load a random captcha for us, okay, a random text. So we use for I, which is equal to 0, and I. Okay, this will be the length of your captcha. As I told you when I made the structure application, I want the captcha to be 6 character, so I say smaller than 6, and then I add. This is a simple for loop. Okay, it will generate 6 random character from the array. Okay, so I make another variable inside this loop. I call it random character. This is equal to from all characters what I want. I want to use math.floor, and I use a random math.random and time this one by all character length, all character dot length. So what it does, it will select the length of all characters and times that one by a random number, and we use matplotlib to get only a number without the decimal points, and that is the character for our, we select one element randomly from this array, okay, and we do this 6 times to get 6 different characters, and we store them inside this random character. Okay, once we did that, we have to position our 6 random character inside the captcha inner text. How we can do that? We select our captcha which we already selected from the from our HTML, and I say inner HTML, not inner HTML, maybe inner text, and I want to add this one. So plus equal to, I use a backtick. Okay, make sure to use backtick dollar, and what do I want to use? The random, this random character, and that's it. I pass 6 random character inside my captcha and save. Okay, after that I want to run this function whenever the pages load. How I can do that? It's very easy. That's how we run our function, and as you can see we have a captcha. If I reload the page, I get another captcha every time. This is how we generate a captcha. Okay, and after that, what I wanna call the captcha and remove the content on reload. Okay, so how I can do this? Whenever I click this reload button, I want to remove the old captcha and generate a new one, like we did with the page reload. How we can do that? I select my reload button and I add an event listener to this one, and what this event listener does, it will be run on click, and whenever it is clicked, it runs an arrow function which will first remove the content. For doing that we have to make a function, so I will make a function called remove content. We will make it in a moment, and once it's content is removed, we run the get captcha to generate a new captcha. Okay, let's make this remove content function. So I make a function, I call it remove content, this function. Okay, what this function does, this function first we select the input field, I wanna select it as value, and I set it to an empty text, and I also wanna select my captcha and set it as inner text to nothing, and let's also select the statistics and I change it as style dot this. Okay, not like that, style dot display, and set it to none. Okay, let's save this one and check if it works. Yeah, it works. Every time I press this button, it generates a new captcha for us. Okay, that's what the reload captcha does. But the most important thing is I want to give functionality to my check button. To do that, I make another function, not a function, but I give an event listener to my check button. I select my check button and add an event listener. We do it after this function here, and I'll run this one on click. Whenever it is clicked, it gets an event, which is the text. Okay, it gets an event and it runs an arrow function. What this function does, first I want to prevent the default form behavior. Okay, so how you can do that? I select my event dot prevent default, and that will does the job. After that, I want to change the status, this status to something. Okay, first I have to show that one, because in the CSS that is the display is set to none. So how you can do that? Select your statistics and give it a style display, set it to block. Whenever you collect this, you see a captcha statistics will be showing. Okay, because it doesn't have anything at the moment, we can't see anything. Okay, after that I want to add a space after each character of the user entered value, because I have added space while generating captcha. You see our captcha have a space, but when we type text, it doesn't have any space, so we have to do this run in the code. How you can add space in the input field? Okay, actually this is not very hard. We make a variable, I call it input value, and this is equal to input field, and I want to select its value. Once I select its value, I want to split it by empty, so this will generate kind of array, and then I use join to join them back with a space. And by using this method we can add space for my letter. Let's test this one. I want to console.log this input value. Let's save, go to inspect, go to console, let me add something, check, and there we go, we have our text with a space. Okay, so it works. Okay, after this what I want to do is I want to check if the captcha match, so I use if input value is equal to the captcha, where it is, this captcha equal to captcha. From the captcha I use it as inner text. If the input value is equal to the captcha inner text, what I want to do first, I want to change the status text style color to a nice color, which I already selected, this color. Okay, and after that I want to also print a message to the status text. So inner status.inner text will be equal to the message nice, your let's say your captcha, the captcha you have entered is correct. A random message, whatever you want. After that, after printing this message, I want to remove the captcha and get a new captcha, or in this case, or you can use this section of code to do whatever you want, and whenever your captcha is correct, maybe go to another page or whatever you want, but I want to reload. Okay, so I set a timeout and I will call remove content and get captcha after 3 seconds maybe, so it's 3000 here for 3 seconds, and so I set the timeout. I run my remove content function, and I want to generate a new captcha, so I run my get captcha function. Okay, that's good. And I, where's my F, and this is where my F is finished. Okay, after that I want to check else. If this is not correct, what I want to select my statistics and change it to the style dot color. This will be equal to a red color, FF0000, and I also want to change it as text to something else, and I can say captcha not matched, please try again. Okay, and that is the end of this code. Let me test everything. I have a captcha. Let's type wrong text, check, captcha is not correct. Okay, now let's type it correctly, PN84HS, check. Okay, it's not correct. What's wrong? Let me generate another captcha, XXRFLQ, check. Okay, the captcha is correct. XXRFLQ, but it says it's wrong. Let's check the code. Where is the problem? Let me check my code. Check my code. Maybe put it before the end. Let me check what is wrong. Okay, I've checked my code. I checked the entire code, but there was no problem. The problem was with the captcha itself, so I refreshed and then it works. Okay, let me enter this captcha XE2E3P. Check, the captcha is correct. And after 3 seconds it reloads. If I wrong captcha, it's not correct. Okay, then let's generate a new captcha, VRY4UW. Check, it's correct. And after 3 seconds we reload. So we have successfully made a captcha with the JavaScript, HTML and CSS. I hope you guys learned something in this video. If you want me to use this captcha in a real form, maybe with PHP or Node.js, let me know in the comment below. I will make a video for you guys. And if you like this video, make sure to share it with your friends, like, subscribe and press the bell icon. Have a great time, my friends.